tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa. But college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run.
Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It's your boys, Swank, Scott, and RT. We're going to roll around with a little introduction. We got a great show for you today, a playoff show, the first of many, question mark, hopefully, yes, definitely. We do a little pregame show on the Buff Fanbase Network, and we're super stoked to be here with you today. And let me introduce the first person on the panel, the voice of Buffalo Bills live streaming, silky smooth, delicious, Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. RT, what is up?
What is up, Swank? Those introductions never get old. Scott, Swank, it's great to be here. Playoff edition of Sunday Sessions on Monday. Who would have thought?
A Monday, Sunday.
Monday, Sunday,
What
playoff
better?
Sunday Sessions.
Hey, listen, it's MLK JR Day, man. I'm feeling good. Had the day off. It's all gravy, baby. We got a Bills game now. Shit. All right, right next to me, my brother from another mother, the best goatee in the biz, my man, Scooter Magooter. What you got, Scott?
What's up, Swank? What's up, RT? You can't turn us into pessimistic. You said playoffs. Maybe we'll get to the next. We're going all the way. We're going all the way. Bunch more Sunday session shows coming up, but we're focused on this one, just like we're focused on the Steelers. Crazy images from the stadium, guys. I just saw an update on the stands. Looks like fans are going to get there, bury your feet in the snow, and stay put because you're not going anywhere.
Dude, some of the like content coming from the weather. Like RT, you're in Tonawanda, right?
I'm in Lockport.
Lockport.
Yep.
Okay, so you're a little ways out. How bad did you guys get it?
We got it really bad Saturday, heading into yesterday. And then yesterday it died down, and today we got nothing. I mean, today was just easy. But Saturday was really when it started to come down. Saturday heading into Sunday, Saturday overnight heading into Sunday, it was like, whoa, I can't even see my car.
Wow.
But yeah, beyond that, it's been pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. Yeah, we got some people that we know that are out at the game today, and I actually got offered tickets on 2 separate occasions and had to turn them down and was super bummed about it. But excited for everybody that is going to the game, and we'll talk all about the weather conditions and all sorts of craziness. We got a lot of our people here, and please don't forget we're part of the Buff Fanbase Network, and as part of that network, we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com, see what Del Reed and the gang have going on. If you go to their physical locations today, they are closed because, as Del posted on his Twitter, they're both sick. So they're going to the game today is what I'm guessing is happening. But please go to 26shirts.com and spend your whole paycheck. You'll never regret it. It's a good time. Yeah, man, we got a lot of great people here. Let's run through these really quick. We got Rob Mullen. It's Bedlam. It's freezing outside. It's 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. Changing it up this week. That's a content creator over at 247buffandemonium.com. Check out the cover 2 by our boy Rob. He's doing great work. We got Jay Ward ready to kick some Steelers ass. I like it, bro. We got Mike V, 3 p.m. on a Monday. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Hell yeah, brother. Glad to see you. We got, let's see, Renee, let's go Buffalo. What's up, Renee? Thanks for joining in. We got John Johns, Holy Snowstorm, Batman. Time for some Sunday sessions. Hell yeah, John Johns. OG, him and his wife, Lisa. And I'm sure we're going to get a weather report from Lisa here soon. Jared Reed, he's giving us his X Factor and bold prediction, and he's jumping the gun like he always does. What's up, Jerry? How you doing, brother?
We messaged just earlier in the day there, RT. He's watching social media and all this stuff. This is like 8 o'clock in the morning, getting hyped for the game. I was like, man, you got 8.5 hours to go. So that's how he's
wired. He's wired.
That's what he said. He was going to be glued to social media all day, getting hyped up. I'll tell you what's been really nice about the last day or so on social media. Haven't heard a lot from Dolphins fans, you know? It's been a little quiet, and it's interesting. it's just interesting. That's all I'm going to say right now. Maybe on tomorrow's show I'll have something else to say, but right now it's just interesting. Browns fans as well, which I don't really have a problem with Browns fans. It's just the Browns in general and their management and ownership and hiring practices. Anyway, we got Lou RQ. What's up, Lou? We got Mr. Lasagna over on Twitter, dude. What a great handle. What's up, Mr. Lasagna? Thanks for hanging out, bro. Go Bills. Jay Ward says he hopes everyone's staying safe. Hell yeah. We too hope that.
Not only are they jumping through tables over there, but they're taking tables down.
They're sledding on
slaloms.
Them.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. Our boy Eric Gordon, actually, Eric offered me a ticket up yesterday, but I've been working on the house. That's why I missed the show on Tuesday. It's been a wild couple weeks here in the Swank almost household, but yeah, Eric was saying that they're apparently sledding on broken tables. And did you guys see the video of the guy shirtless sliding down the chute? Yeah, like when they're shoveling out the stadium. It's pretty awesome.
Cast of characters out there shoveling, that's for sure.
Mike Schmoke says, please stop the run. Hell yeah, I agree. We got Greg, go Bills. Brad, Avery, go Bills. Man, you guys are killing it. Rob Mullen over under for snowballs on the field is 100. I like it. Let's see. Juan Jose Venegas Rodriguez Jr. What's up, Juan? How you doing, brother? He says, what time is the game? The game starts at 4:30, my man. So you got a little bit. And thanks for hanging with us tonight to get a little primed up for it. Oh, boy, let's see. You guys are killing it, man. We got Paula Hannix. What's up, Paula? How you doing? We like doing the inactives. That's why we do this pregame show. A little bit of last minute takes and hype and insight, but the inactives are out. I'm staring at the list right now. Man, I'm a little bummed. I'm a little bummed about this list. Gabe Davis, we knew that. Taylor Rapp, we knew that. Tyrell Dodson, that kind of sucks. This sucks more. Rasul Douglas, he is inactive today. Didn't know if that was a definite. I saw him tweeting some stuff over the last couple of days that kind of made me think that he was going to go, but he is not. And then we got Kingsley Jonathan. He's a normal suspect. Alec Anderson and Poona Ford. So you got some substantial starters and depth on both sides of the ball right now that aren't not going to be out there. They have elevated Isabella, who was a preseason darling from the Buffalo Bills, and who else did they elevate?
AJ Klein,
caveman. That's right. Big caveman coming in. So with that being said, and kids, please give us all your comments, questions, insight. I'd love to hear some Dolphins jokes. That would be great. RT, I'm going to throw it down to you first, man. This is playoff football. This is in Buffalo. The game didn't get moved. We're here. It's our weather. It's our time. They have a great record at home when they're playing playoff games. What are you expecting from this Buffalo Bills offense today against the Steelers defense?
Oh, man, it's going to be fun out there. Safe to say, shout out to the crew that cleared out the field, because 4 hours ago, as soon as 4 hours ago, that field was looking rough. Now it looks like it's in great condition. So shout out to the grounds crew, or whatever you want to call it, field crew out there at the stadium in OP. But offensively, hopefully, weather permitting, that field stays clear. Should help the Bills do what they do best, run, pass the football. Great balance that we've seen from Joe Brady, who is 6-1 since he became the offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. So there's been moments where I think I talked about it last week, where it's like the fourth quarter of the last game, we start to see that same offense in the first half, and then it forces the Bills to adjust in the second half. I want to see the Bills come out with some different looks. I know that TJ Watt won't be out there today, so that definitely helps. But in terms of what Pittsburgh brings, they're always well coached. They're always on their P's and Q's with Mike Tomlin, running the show, of course, as the HC there. And you got to be on your P's and Q's with the Steelers. No matchup is easy in the playoffs. So I think the Bills will do what they do best, similarly to what we saw last week against Miami in the second half. I'd love to see that offense translate to the first half of this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I want to see him come out and have some fire and be consistent. I don't think last week's game was a bad game per se. They just didn't finish.
Right.
You know, they didn't finish in the end zone. He had a couple stupid mistakes. He had, unfortunately, like I think that first interception is actually on Gabe. I think that he cut it off and Josh wasn't expecting him to. Of course, he was under pressure and all that stuff. And I'm not taking any of the blame for those interceptions away from Josh Allen, but I'm saying there's these little things, just little things that they need to clean up. I want to see the second half of the Bills offense from that game last week play the whole game. Well, play till the third quarter. That'd be fine. You could bench him after that. But like, I want to see that like firing on all cylinders, play off Josh Allen, go down, take what they're giving you, just score touchdowns, finish with touchdowns. But yeah, I love those takes, man. Scooter, what do you got for me, man? What do you want to see out of this Bills offense?
Well, Swank, those little things are exactly why the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the situation they're in now and playing a playoff game. They take full advantage of those little things, the turnovers that defense has been creating, and the sacks and the 3-and-outs that they've been creating for this offense. What I see our offense doing, that stadium, if you look behind RT right now, he's not there live, but if you were to see that green grass or the blue Buffalo Bills end zone, that's what it kind of looks like now, right now on the field.
Wow.
So,
Offensively, I'm not thinking that we're going to see much of anything different. I know Murray is brought in rather than touchdown Lenny. Gabe Davis is out, like you said. I know Paulette just asked again. He's out. But I see this offense doing what they do, what they have been for this last 7 weeks. Short patterns, West Coast style with Josh Allen added into the mix. Nothing's going to change much, I don't think. It's a cold day, but apparently it's like 45, 50 degrees on the sideline. So just do what you do, Joe Brady. It's your playoff debut for the Buffalo Bills. Tune in something nice. We've seen a lot of blowouts. Who knows? I think the Bills have potential to do that, but obviously they got to play the game. But offensively, just do your thing. Do your thing. We don't have high gusts. We don't have the field's not going to accumulate during the game. I think we're okay offensively.
I agree. I'm glad the game got moved. I'm glad that this is like an even playing field. I could have envisioned a game where it was just super run heavy the whole time, and that would have kept the Steelers in it, like in the mix longer than you would have liked. I'm not scared of a Steelers defense without TJ Watt too much. I think what it is, though, is you need a calm Josh Allen. He needs to take what's given. You need to solidify that run game. And Johnson is active today. He cleared concussion protocol. Our boy Rob threw that in the comments. So you got a healthy dose of James Cook and him. And it looks like Latavius Murray today. So we'll see what happens, man. I think you can get a good balance. I think that there's a level playing field now. It's just cold. That's all. And they're both used to the cold. So at least it's here.
We're suffering from a couple of injuries. The Pittsburgh Steelers are actually getting a bunch of key players back, even though TJ Watt is out. Kazi, their safety, just got back from a suspension. Fitzpatrick is healthy. Joey Porter and Patrick Peterson are no joke. So they're going to be tough defensively still. They just don't have that key edge guy that they have had.
Yep. Let's see. We got Dr. Bruce McKellar, our resident doctor over at 247buffandemonium.com. Check out the injury report. Dr. Bruce throwing hot fire all the time. He said sitting in traffic 1 mile from the stadium at 3:15.
You still got another hour and a half.
Better hurry up, bro. You better get out. Just leave it. Leave the car, Doc.
Start walking, man.
Let's see. I did want to, before we move over to the defensive side of the ball, people are talking about Rasul Douglas. There was an interesting comment from Rasul in the locker room after the game. He was thinking that he would go back in after he got banged up, and Dane Jackson went over and told him that he's like, I got this. Like, don't go in if you're not 100%. I got this. And he, camaraderie team-wise, was like good with that. So now we're looking at it a week later and an extra day later, and he didn't have a designation. So I thought, man, the way he was tweeting out and the way things are going, he's definitely playing Monday. He's not. Dane Jackson played his ass off. This defense does not, even though we want the starters in it, it has not suffered immensely from not having its starters out there. The backups, the depth have came through and done what they need to do. And in my take for the defensive side of the ball with the Buffalo Bills going against this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, you're going to hear a lot about this defensive line helping out that secondary. But before I go, I'm going to shoot it over to my boy Scooter Magooter, and he's going to tell you what he thinks about this Buffalo Bills defense against the Steelers offense.
Mason Rudolph has been playing safe for the last bunch of weeks. You throw out stats, his QBR and all that stuff are elevated. He's got a good run game to depend on. And that's what I think the key for the Buffalo Bills to do this week is focus on Harris and focus on Warren. Warren's a guy, and Harris is a guy that always keep moving forward after they get hit initially. But like I said on the K-Gun report, guys, 75% of the runs are inside the tackles. So this defensive interior line and our linebackers need to mind their P's and Q's, keep gap responsibility, and make sure, our guy that got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, Terrell Bernard, tons of tackles for losses. I can see that happening today if, in fact, they do mind their P's and Q's and do what they have to do in the front seven for sure. But I think that's one of the big things. Dane Jackson, guys, it's not just some slub coming off on the sideline that hasn't had any game time experience. Remember, he was a starter last year. I don't see any issue if Rasul Douglas even took off today because he's 50%, 75%, and Dane Jackson sitting there go, hey, guy, I got you again. I got you again. I have 100% faith in Dane Jackson. He does get beat sometimes, but so does everybody else. Luckily, we have our defensive backs that play deep cover 2 in the Poyer and Hyde, and I'm just happy to see, Kyer Elam's actually on the field today too, so that should be interesting. Be prepared to make a lot of tackles, though, because that's what kind of game I think Pittsburgh's going to bring.
Yeah, I mean, it's always physical. Right? Like you're going to have to get in there. And I think a big part of this is going to be stopping Najee. A huge part of this is going to be that. I think they're going to ride his ass all day. What do you think, RT? What's this Bills defense have to do against the Steelers offense?
Well, talking about kind of touching on what I saw last week, I think it's cemented. You got to look at what has led us here and what has worked and what has allowed us to get to that 6-1 stretch that Joe Brady's, conducted offensively, but the Bills have conducted as a team with their backs against the wall, 6-6, 11-6, 2 seed, playing the Steelers at home, playing potentially Kansas City next week at home with a win. To me, I could talk about how great Josh Allen is all day long. James Cook, Stephon Diggs, but to me, when I rest my head on this season finally, hopefully with a Super Bowl win, I'll walk away from it and I'll say to myself, the story of this season, the true story of the season was not Josh Allen, was not Stephon Diggs, was the guys stepping up on the defensive side of the ball to date that have continued to do so. So when I look at this team, I mean, they're playing inspired on defense. 57 yards, total yards allowed in the second half to Miami's, high flying offense, or what potentially we'll talk about that another time, but potentially high flying offense that they stifled. Probably giving KC a lot of game tape on how to prepare for them, right? So looking at how this defense can implement what they have against Pittsburgh heading into today, to me, Najee Harris is a big piece of what they do, but even bigger than that is just as big, is just as important, is that 1-2 rhythm with himself and Jaylen Warren, as Scott mentioned. As well as in the secondary is going to be tested by a receiver that we've all talked about in private, George Pickens, who, if he had a solid Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes type quarterback, we'd be talking about one of the best receivers in the NFL. We really would. Talent-wise, it's off the charts. So keeping our P's and Q's tested in the deep portion of things, secondary wise, that's where Buffalo has been tried and tested, but they've passed those tests due to the safeties that they have, due to the interchanging Teron Johnson's. We're going to be missing Taylor Rapp today, but that interchanging of the secondary is going to be really big in today's game, just as much as it is in the run game, defensive line wise. And I know one thing, thus far, any test that has come their way defensively, Buffalo's passed it. So I have no fear over anyone with the way Sean McDermott has coached this defense in particular. It's what's helped the Bills get to where they are. It's what's kept the haters off the back of Sean McDermott. It's essentially what helped save Sean McDermott a lot of stress, more stress, as he was going through early in the season.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. Isn't it funny that this time last year, if you would have told me that Rapp was out and not Jordan Poyer or Micah Hyde, everybody would have been like, so, right?
Right.
And this year it's a little bit of a different story. And I don't know, I guess, what the story is with Poyer and Hyde. I love them to death. We all love them. We love what they've done and meant to this team. It's kind of like, to me, like, we haven't heard their names a lot, but that's in part because they've been doing their job, right? And also in part, like, the splash plays from those two aren't there anymore. I'd like to see something come from that, because Rapp is a very physical, a little bit younger, running around the field, maybe overly physical at sometimes, but that juice back there that those guys used to be, so I just think it's very interesting to me that, like, he's out and people are kind of like, Rapp's out, It also means that Hamlin's active, it seems like, so there's that, DeMar will be out there. I don't know, just to me it's like, what a difference a year can make.
I was thinking of this as well, Swank. Like, there were two safeties that the Philadelphia Eagles used to have: Troy Vincent, who ended up playing in Buffalo, and Brian Dawkins. And they were what Poyer and Hyde were 3-4 years ago for a very long period of time, just like Poyer and Hyde. But then they had to start to become more instinctual players, coverage type safeties. I think that's what we're starting to see from Poyer and Hyde. You go back, watch some of the tape, you'd see Poyer make some tackles, you'd see Hyde punch a ball out of Tyreek Hill's hands to force an incompletion. Those types of plays are like the vet savvy plays that nobody will pin their hat on. But you go back and watch, it's like that one play could have led to such and such if not made. So definitely interesting. That's an interesting point.
Yeah. Paulette Brown, the beautiful Paulette Brown. What's up, Paulette? Says, will Kincaid and Knox be on the field together, double twin power, or putting them in separate to play? What do you guys think Kincaid and Knox's role will be? What do you think, Scoop?
DK squared. I think you introduce the 12 personnel like you have all season. I don't know if they're going to be more or less, but they've both been seeing significant playing time, and we do see them a lot out there at the same time. We're not seeing like the plays one after the next. It seems like it's Kincaid's doing one drive and then Knox will be active the next. But I think much the same as they have been in the past. I don't think it's going to be any different than what we've seen, but Paulette, they've both been pretty effective. So yes and no.
You got any take on that, RT?
Yeah, I would say a little bit of both of that. Dalton Kincaid is a matchup nightmare in 11 personnel. He's lined up in the slot. He's done a lot of really interesting things over the middle. He made that back foot catch towards the sideline as he was kind of streaking down the middle, side middle of the field from one hatch to the next. Not many tight ends can run like that. I'd offer you maybe cross the field and find a football, as they're falling backwards off their back foot. That just showed me right there why he was a first-round draft pick, and why. And you look at some of these other guys. George Kittle was a 5th-round draft pick. Travis Kelce 2nd or 3rd round. So the comparisons are interesting, but I think Kincaid is the next big thing at the position. I've been talking about that all year, but don't forget about Dawson Knox. He's good for a clutch 3rd down catch 2 or 3 times in a game, if not more. So when given the opportunity, so I'm really excited to see how they implement both of those guys today, and I've really enjoyed watching that evolve as the season's worn on as well.
There's a handful of things that potentially could happen with the Gabe Davis being out. You could see Kincaid out in the slot more often and Knox playing majority tight end, or you can see Shakir, someone that we love seeing coming up in the ranks, guys. His yard after catch is crazy. The guy's instinctual. He's doing an amazing job.
His catch percentage is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Dude catches everything.
Yeah. You ain't kidding. And he's got an eye for he knows exactly where everyone is on the field, and he knows where he is at on the field. It's crazy. Very instinctual. But again, with Gabe being hurt, you never know. You might see more of that combination of Kincaid and Knox out there.
I guess I hadn't thought about it until right now, but like with Gabe being out, that's got to kind of wreak havoc on the Steelers defense like this, where or DC in general, where like you have all these dudes coming up in the ranks and you don't know. Gabe is out there a lot. He plays the lion's share of the snaps. He's on the field a ton, but you got, not only Shakir and Kincaid and Knox. James Cook can catch a ball. Now you got Hardy, you got Sherfield, and then you got Isabella active. So it's the playoffs, baby. Like, what the hell? They could be doing a lot of crazy stuff today. You could not only see like the traditional Bills offense that you've been seeing all year and mostly loving, but you could see maybe some of this like Isaiah McKenzie type jet sweep stuff that we haven't seen a lot this year with Isabella or Hardy or something. Maybe there's a little bit of a mix up, and if it's going to be more run heavy, that would be interesting. I did see our resident weather woman, Lisa John, said there's no wind. The snow is not coming down. It's just cold AF. I don't really know what that means. Scott, do you know what AF means?
Altered forecast.
I think, yeah, something like that. Thanks, Lise. Yeah, just interesting. I think there's a lot of possibilities. I'm kind of, Gabe is clutch in the playoffs. He has his games. He has his moments. I really like Gabe Davis. I really would like him to work out at a reasonable contract. But I'm also I'm intrigued by some of the other players that we have on this roster that seem to flash in the moments that they're given. But Gabe takes a lot of snaps, so it'll be interesting to see today is all I guess I'm saying. Here we go. We're at 3:31. Thanks again for hanging with us today. You guys in the comments have been killing it. Sunday sessions from your boys at 24/7 Buff Fandemonium and Buff Fan Base. Don't forget we're sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them everything you got in your bank account. You'll be happy that you did. We're going to do our bold predictions now, and please let us know in the comments what your bold prediction for today's game is. I'm going to go down south to Ryan Thomas, and he's going to start us off. What's your bold, buddy?
Bold prediction. 0 turnovers from the Buffalo Bills. That's bold. But what's even more bold is despite Rasul Douglas being inactive, despite Terrell Dodson being inactive, I do see the Buffalo Bills forcing 2 turnovers of their own, 2 interceptions from Mason Rudolph, maybe even a fumble as well. If they can get after Mason Rudolph, shut down the run early, force Mason Rudolph to beat them, it could be a long, long day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's how I see my bold prediction going down. The Bills defense shutting down that run game. They've been very good against the run, actually, as of late. I know that Devin Achane was getting some runs off in the first half, but those pitches, reverse pitches that Mike McDaniel was running, he was running those almost telegraphically to the point where it was really easy for the Bills to stop. They ran that play so many times to the left or to the right. I know Pittsburgh's going to bring a little bit something different than that. I would hope so, because Buffalo was able to stop it. So I think this Bills defense, man, I really think they're the story of the Bills this season. I know the offense is where it's at, but the defense has risen above. You were to tell me we were here without Matt Milano, without Trey White, et cetera, Daquan Jones throughout the majority of the season, I would have thought you were crazy. A lot of guys have stepped up, and I think they're going to continue to do so.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. I love it. We had a couple bolds coming in the comments. My pops from upstairs, right up here. He says, take what they give, protect the ball with smart scrambling, and stomp their offense. Go Bills. My dad is the king of forget the prevent, go after the quarterback, stick with what works, cream them. And I think a lot of my defensive love of the game comes from that that whole take. I love it. I love when that's working and you just smoke a quarterback into being scared of his own shadow. It's my favorite thing ever. But
that's football. That's football.
That's it. If you want to see a sight, man, watch a team that's up by 2 scores go into prevent with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and my dad loses his mind.
I don't blame him.
Stupid
I don't blame
prevent,
him.
man. Prevent. Oh, yeah, and he's right.
Go after him.
He's right.
Get
Go
after
after him, man. Sink the dagger in.
Let the guys play. Trust your guys. That's what I always say. It's my dad always says. Hey, trust your guys.
Stay with what worked. What got you to this point. Stay with it. We got Doug saying bold prediction equals 400 yards passing for Josh. Nice.
There you go.
Mike V down the same line. Josh throws for 375 plus and has 5 total touchdowns. Mike V, dude. Chris Christian was asking if I had a homer score prediction for today. I don't know. Mike V's there, man. I hope it's good. We got Rob Mullen, bold prediction. Bills win at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, controlling the clock and the game. I love it. Go ahead, Scooter. What do you got for a bold prediction, buddy?
On the K-Gun report, my bold was touchdown line. You would have 2 touchdowns, but he's not playing. So I'm changing it up a little bit, and I'm going with Mr. Swank here. I'm going 4+ turnovers because McDermott, he has thrived in the past, even before he came to Buffalo, on this turnover-heavy defense. Let it continue into the playoffs. 4+ turnovers. I don't care how it is, fumbles, interceptions, whatever. Buffalo's going to bring the pressure, create a miserable life for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, I love it, dude.
I'm okay with 4. I said 2. I was keeping things kind of light. 4. Hey,
trying to have
I'm
fun,
okay with that.
Keeping it light.
Trying to just be a little respectful to the opponent, respect the game. But hey, 4 is good too.
Bold prediction is not about respect.
Dude,
I said 2 interceptions, shut down the run. I'll add a caveat to this. We'll say like 70 total rushing yards.
Damn. All right.
Steelers.
RT took the bait, man, and he ran
Najee
with
Harris
it right there, dude.
and Jaylen Warren combined.
Wow.
That's a good stretch.
That's bold. That's some bold shit right there.
It's bold. That's bold. Eddie-O.
Eddie-O.
Shutting it down.
Eddie-O. John says bold prediction: Jackson and Hyde with a pick 6. Like they're both holding the ball across the line together, or each of them get one. John. No, I'm just kidding. I get it. Let's see. Chris Christian, he's homer time. 37-10 Bills. Bring on KC. Damn, he's there. Lisa says would love to see Packers Cowboys game today with us being the Packers. Oh yes, me too. That was another fun game to watch, actually. I heard a rumor that Belichick was sniffing around Dallas, and I was just like, that would be like if Dallas is hell and Belichick is Satan. Like it would just make a lot of sense.
It makes way too much sense. It's a perfect fit. Like,
and Jerry Jones taking all the pressers and all that stuff away from Belichick. I think that would be a perfect spot for him. He wouldn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
I'm shocked it didn't happen 25 years ago.
Yeah, no doubt. God, can you imagine Belichick with Dak? Oh my God, it would be so funny. Anyway,
or Belichick with Parsons.
Oh God. I did shoot out a tweet because Jason Garrett, luckily NBC and Peacock, whatever, I guess NBC and they own Peacock and blah blah blah. They gave us a break from Collingsworth, so we didn't have to watch him twice between Peacock and NBC for the last 2 days. But Jason Garrett was calling the first game there. I can't remember which one it was. It was the night game 2 nights ago.
The Miami KC game, right?
Yes, yeah. So listening to Jason Garrett, I tweeted out, it was like listening to a wet blanket, but I would still listen to it a million times over listening to like Chris Collingsworth. Like I would prefer that so many more times. And then Collingsworth called the game last night, and I was just like, ugh. I listened to it with the volume down the whole time. It was great. It was amazing. I just
turn the
took
TV off and just turn it on radio.
Yeah,
you get a lot more out of that.
Yeah. My bold prediction: I didn't wear this jersey for nothing. Boy's been quiet for a couple weeks. I'm gonna tell you what, he's going for it today, baby. We're getting 2 tutties and 100+ yards because there's no wind, and Josh Allen is aching for it. So Fitzpatrick, don't care. We're getting it. He's getting in.
Yep.
Steph's ready, and that's where I'm at with it.
And for those of you that are worried about the weather in Buffalo and like we're high flying passing offense, you got to remember this: our weather will not affect Josh Allen. He's bred for this. He's a Wyoming guy. He played in this kind of weather. He knows how to handle it. And we saw a couple of years ago he could throw on the wind as well. He can have a 30-mile-an-hour wind in his face and still deliver. So we're in good hands. We still have the home field advantage with bad weather.
Nice. I like it.
Never forget too that show Sports Science where they had Josh Allen throw the football and they had the highest recorded velocity on a pass that they'd ever recorded was 73 miles an hour. So you put that in baseball terms, he's throwing that baseball little over a touch over 100 with that type of mileage. So
I'm gonna tell you, man, Josh Allen throwing the ball through the wind was never the problem. The problem is the receivers catching it. And with this cold that's out there right now, man, they better just be ready. Your hands are going to sting for the whole game. Get the first one out of the way. Catch it hard.
Crispy.
Yeah, man. But, like, hold on to the damn ball. That's all we need. Just hold on to the damn ball. Yeah. Knocks his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Catch it into your chest. Hands to the ball might actually hurt a little bit.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the X Factor. Scooter, I'm going to shoot it right over to you. Who's your X Factor, or what is your X Factor for today's game?
We've already established it's going to be Jalen Warren, and Najee Harris might be the problem, might be the issue. So it's the interior defensive line, Oliver, Daquan Jones, and the middle linebackers. Both linebackers, obviously. Gap responsibility, fill the gap, tackles for losses. These guys fall forward. They know how to hit the hole hard, and it's all with inside the tackle. 75%, we've said it. You know that. Attack, that's the key factor. That's the X factor to the Buffalo Bills' success today.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. What do you think, RT?
Hey, X factor for me. We're talking about the X factor, bold, prediction, what to keep out for with Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. I'm going to flip it to Buffalo's run game. I think that the X factor today is Buffalo's run game. James Cook, a healthy dose of a chain-moving version of James Cook, meaning in space, getting him the ball in space. I think James Cook has a bone to pick with himself. There's been opportunities where they've thrown him the ball in the end zone or towards the end zone, and he's dropped it. I think he's going to make up for that today. I see him getting a receiving touchdown in today's game and being featured in this offense quite heavily. Time of possession, big deal in any game. James Cook could be the key ingredient to that for the Buffalo Bills offensively. X factor, James Cook.
I like it. Before I get to my X factor, Chris Christian posed the question of all questions. Who do we despise more, Collingsworth or Nick Wright? Scott.
I'd say Nick Wright.
Nick Wright, yeah. He's more targeted, right?
They're both respected careers. Nick Wright is a guy that's analysis that does it not live, and Collinsworth that does it live during the game. They're both horrible.
And Collinsworth actually played.
Yeah, and he's still horrible. And his son is coming up.
Right. Horrible. But like if you take an analysis from a guy that's played, you're like, well, okay, maybe he might know something a little bit more about that than the average person. Whereas Nick Wright looks like a snake oil salesman. I mean, this guy's got the hair, the beard. He just, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
There's two different things. There's a guy that speaks his mind, played the game, he knows the game, and he's just speaking his mind. I mean, you're not going to get anything false from Collinsworth to what he says. Nick Wright, he just does it for the clicks. He does it for the clicks. So, I mean, he knows he gets a big rise out of hating Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So why does he keep talking about him? Just like Miami Dolphins fans keep talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
They get clicks off of it, and they like the attention.
That's it, man. That's it right there. I think it's Nick Wright for me. Absolutely. I mean, if it was like reformed into a different question where it's like, who would you rather have dinner with or be stuck having dinner with? I don't know, dude. It's like, that's torture. I don't know. I might just go commit a felony and spend the night in jail instead. You think so?
I think you can have an intelligent conversation with Collinsworth. You'd just be annoyed with him. Nick Wright would just be like, you could finish your meal just shaking your fucking head, not saying a word.
But you could tell Nick Wright off, right? Yep. You can be like, you're a piece of shit.
Nick Wright would be the guy that would just keep talking and not let you get a word in. That would be Nick Wright.
And yeah. All right, we'll move on here. Rob Mullen says X Factor keeping Allen upright. Likely see Steelers bring an extra DB on every passing down. Seeing Watt is out. Pass pro will be key for Buffalo. Get up early and run clock. I love it. For me, my X Factor, this defensive line, baby, slowing down that run, but getting to Mason Rudolph, man. I think there is a real possibility of that happening. If you make this sucker pass the ball, I think you're going to see Epinesa eat. I think you're going to see my boy Leonard Floyd eat. I think you're going to see maybe Vaughn get his first appearance. This is why we hired him, right? This is why he's on the team. It's playoffs, baby. Wake up and hit somebody. Let's go. Our boy Groot getting double teamed all year, but still making plays with them freaking tentacle arms that he's got. I think this defensive line is really going to have to do what they do, but do it to perfection. And man, Eddie O, there's too much talent, and I do not have faith in Mason Rudolph. You cannot be a game manager against the Buffalo Bills and this defense and make it out alive. So D-line, eat on Mason Rudolph today. That's my X factor.
I don't know why it took so long, but I'm just got really fucking excited for today's game. I've been pumped, but now I just felt my heart rate come up. Swank, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
that. And,
You're welcome. I do that. That's,
and I looked at the clock.
That was awesome.
45 minminutes away. Jesus.
There's videos of people shoveling their seat, unshoveling their seat. I just saw one. Somebody said it to me. It's like, wow, somebody shoveling it with his arms, and one guy took like his child and just used his child to shovel.
I saw that. Yeah, like to wipe off his car. Is that one, dude? That was so funny.
Well, there was one to wipe. There was one to wipe off his car, and then there was one like he brought his kid to the game, and he literally just dragged his son all along the row. And his son was holding the football. I was like, that is one of the best things I've ever seen. Dude.
I mean, the stands are full of snow. The Bills fans aren't stupid. Snow moves. You find your seat. You scoop it out. It's
right.
The big thing is they wanted to clear the hallways, the alleyways, and all that stuff, and that's been all done. And again, kudos to the fans that showed up. $20 an hour free in food. That's not a bad wage.
Yeah, give them a warm place to sit and some food, and yeah.
You do it for 4 hours. It paid for one of your tickets too.
Yep.
Hey man, it's more than
math on that, right?
That's more than a lot of people make. $20 an hour, shit.
Yeah.
All right, we're going into our score prediction, kids. So put it in the comments. We're running a little bit over, but it's the playoffs. It's playoffs, baby.
Playoffs.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. The first score prediction for my old man upstairs. He says Bills 31, Steelers 14. He's looking for it, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Dad. It's a great one to kick it off here. I don't remember where I started last
Go me first.
All right, we're going Scooter. Scoot, what's your score prediction?
I did have 24-14, but because the field looks nice and there's no heavy wind, Papa Swank took my guess 31-14. Hey. I'm with you, man. I'll give them an extra touchdown, extra 2 field goals. 31-14.
Nice. I like it. RT, what do you got for score prediction?
I'm not giving the Steelers 14 points. I'll put it that way. I'm gonna go 31-7. I'll go 31-7. And to me, it's just going to be a dominant game, top to bottom. I see just a dominant, sound performance, top to bottom. Offense puts points on the board. Defense shuts it down. This is going to be a game where the Steelers are going to come away feeling like we need a better quarterback in 2024. It can't be Kenny Pickett. Can't be Mason Rudolph. We need a better quarterback. They're going to need Mason Rudolph to show something in this one. I don't see a snowball's chance in hell, pun intended, that's going to happen. So 31-7 Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I like it. Lots of people in the comments. See, this is what happens. I go off on these like little, lines, and all of a sudden I'm catching up in the comments while you guys are giving your predictions. And there's so many answers to the Nick Wright, Chris Collinsworth dinner conversation. It's making me very happy. You guys are the best, man.
Just change the answer to Marv Levy, and then we'll want to have dinner with Marv Levy. We'll just leave it at that, right?
We got Tony Benamino in the comments. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Tony, he's a big Bills fan. He's someone we can knock on for being a Miami fan. Grew up a Miami fan, but he converted. Well,
you got it right. That's good.
You grow out of
Dolphins fans. It's never too late. You can grow up one of these days.
You grow out of silly things as you get older.
We were all, pissing our pants at one point in our stage of life, and we grew out of that, and you can do the same thing with football.
My best friend loved Rob Johnson. He eventually learned, Team Flutie all the way.
Well, yeah. A lot of young kids play with Barbie dolls. Eventually grew up to G.I. Joe.
You guys killing it here. We got John Johns 28-17 Bills. Joey Hatch overtime. It is overtime, dude. You're right. So I'll throw it up for you, man. I'm glad you called it.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That's right. We're unprofessional. It's playoffs, and this is like the most beer I've had in like a couple weeks, and man, it feels good. Damn. All right, Paulette says 28-16 Bills win. Oh, nice. Mike V, Bills 41-17. Killing it. Chris Christian asked if I was going to have a homer take. I don't have a homer take this week. I want to get a little serious with the playoffs here, but I love everybody that we've brought up here on the panel. 31 points for the Buffalo Bills. It's hard to stray away from it, but I'm going to go 35-10 Buffalo Bills. And I think I just don't see Mason Rudolph being successful at all if we shut down the running game. I just don't see it. I have respect for Pickens. I think that's where that TD comes from. Other than that, I don't have a lot of respect for anybody else on their offense, mainly because of the person that's heading it up. So, yeah, Mason, you're right. Absolutely has to prove something today to be anything more than a backup in the league for the rest of his career. I think this is the time. He's been here for he's been in Pittsburgh for how long now? 4 or 5 seasons. Like it's too much. And they got some stuff to figure out down there. So I think the Bills are primed and ready to go. They're on a 5-game heater and about to make it 6 and roll right into the next week, hopefully with the Chiefs coming to town and take care of that vendetta as well. So that's my prediction. We got Joey Hatch, 40 Buffalo, Pittsburgh, 10 Bills win. Tony Benamino, 24-10. I'm assuming Bills. Let's see. Lisa, Bills by Fiddy. Fiddy. I love it.
There you go.
All right, guys, it's 3:51. Thanks so much for hanging with us. We're going to do final thoughts and get the hell out of here and get on to our game day traditions.
Rituals.
Thank you guys so much for hanging with us for Sunday sessions. With everything working for us, we will see you next week. And be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. I'm going to throw it down to RT. RT, give them your final thought and tell them where they can find you, brother.
Once again, great to be on the show. As always, whether it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday, in this case, unforeseen a Monday. But hey, I loved the show as always. You guys, Bills Mafia, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Thomas Take, Thomas Take Sports Podcast, available on any and all audio podcasting platforms as well. Airing Wednesdays at 8. Be sure to tune in. Hopefully recapping a great Buffalo Bills playoff win Wednesdays at 8 on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. And final thoughts, it's here, playoffs, and I think this is going to be a very dominant game. I think that home field advantage, we're going to see it take shape against Pittsburgh here, of course. We're going to be hosting Kansas City next week. Round 3, KC, Buffalo. This time, Pat, come on.
Yeah.
Come to Orchard Park. Let's see what you got. I'm looking forward to that. So, final thought, enjoy the game, guys, and let's go Bills.
It'll be Pat's first game away.
Away. Yeah. No better place than to play Josh Allen with 70,000 plus screaming Josh Allen's name. We'll see how he does with that.
The NFL already has it written.
I don't know, our colors in the logo for the Super Bowl, like that whole stupid thing that's been going on, that trend. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's not stupid if that's what happens. If that's what happens.
Hey, if there's some red and blue in there, bring it on, baby. I don't care.
Let's go.
Scooter, what do you got, man? What do you got for a final thought?
It's after watching these other teams lose and the controversy that's going on with, oh my gosh, our quarterbacks, the two of the Dak Prescotts of the world. Be happy we got Josh Allen. My final thought is we got a quarterback that can do it. He can play in this weather, home or away. It doesn't matter where we are. We have the leader that we need for a bunch of years to come. Let's win this playoff game. Let's keep advancing. And next week is next week. Mahomes versus Allen would be a beautiful thing. But like Josh said in the post-game interview and in the locker room following that game, one game at a time. One game at a time. I'm with him. I'm on board. Cheer hard. Be safe. Throw over 100 snowballs because there's an over-under. Love Bills Mafia. You guys killed it. Over 170 messages already on this show today. We did a kick-ass job. You guys did a kick-ass job. Enjoy it. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. Well said. RT was like, I got to go get my beer. I got to get some za and some wings, bro. We got to get ready for this game. He was out. Rob Mullen says, final thoughts. Regardless of the predictions, this team has proven to be resilient. And even if the Bills win ugly, it's still a win. Go Bills. Absolutely. It doesn't matter how you get there. It really doesn't. It's just that you get there. So 1 week at a time, 1-0, that's the goal. You hear Josh say it all the time. And please remember, I say it a lot on the show. There were times where we did not have this. We did not have this game. There were 17 seasons worth of games where we did not have this. So cherish it, man. Be stoked that there is a little chill in the air, but there's no wind. There's no weather. Like, they're out there playing their game the best way they can play it. Don't forget the Kagan Report every Tuesday night. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. The triumphant return of me, hopefully not having to work on the house past 8 p.m. But no, I'll be on the show tomorrow night, and Scott and Jared and I will be talking all about this game that we're about to watch, and hopefully it's a win, and then we can cruise on for another week here talking playoffs. And if we do, regardless, we're gonna have the show tomorrow. We gotta just touch on the pretenders of this year, the pretenders of this season, and the way a lot of these games have gone in the last couple days. I'd like to talk about the Browns quick, the Dolphins quick, and the Cowboys. I'd really like to touch.
A lot more than in the past. A lot more in the past. And these records are crazy to suggest that these guys actually had a successful season.
Yeah.
After what we watched yesterday.
Strength of schedule, and then all of a sudden you get where it matters and you get smoked. Jordan Love looking like the real deal, dude. Like, I love Jordan Love, man. I love that Green Bay can move on without Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of great stuff that we're going to get into tomorrow. Hopefully, number one of that, a big Bills victory, moving on to the divisional round in the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the website, 247fandemonium.com. And hey, guys, go Bills.
Enjoy today, guys. Go Bills.
Go